Hey guys, and welcome to another League of Legends commentary. Um, so today I'm going to be showing you a video of me playing Vladimir, solo top Vladimir, and I'm just going to go through what I do, how I play him, and the skill order I do. I'm doing this because I want to show off the new Vladimir, because he's gotten buffed recently in the recent patches. What they did to him was that they decreased his Q, his transfusions, uh, cooldown by 4 seconds in the early levels, which helps him a lot in his early level sustain. Then they also changed the cost of his E, his Tides of Blood. Before it used to cost a percentage of his health, 15% of his health every time he casts it. Now, however, it only costs him a flat amount, 30 health, 40 health, 50 health, 60 health, etc., etc. And they also changed his ultimate, which is used to also cost 20% of his max health, his current health, sorry, 20% of his current health. Now it actually has no cost, so it's a really, like, they buffed him quite a lot. Um, so I'm going to be going up against a Rise top. He has Ignite. I need to be careful of that because Ignite hurts me a lot, because especially since I'm carrying heal and my Q also gives me health back. So um, the masteries I run for Vladimir is 0, 15, 15 masteries. 15 down defense for the extra movement speed and the extra armor and magic resistance, and 15 down utility for the spell vamp. Um, my game's a little bit laggy right
Welcome to
now. I don't know
Summoner's
why.
Rift.
Sorry about that. Um, and most people before the Vlad buff used to carry Flash Ignite, but since recently, like not recently, but a while ago, they nerfed Vladimir's transfusion damage by a lot. Ignite just doesn't do enough, especially since Vlad cannot burst people down just like he used to. So instead, most Vladimirs now carry a Flash and
30
Heal.
seconds until minions
What makes
spawn.
Heal so good and so deadly on Vladimir is that um, his E actually increases um, healing and regeneration by 8%, and it goes up 4 stacks, so it actually increases by 32%. 32% plus 165, like 32% of like an extra 165 is a lot. You can go from almost no HP to about half just by having 4 stacks of your E and using heal.
Minions
So
have
heal baiting on
spawned.
Vlad is very good. Um, Going over his skill set now, we have his passive, which is Crimson Pact. For every 1 point of ability power, he gets 1.4 bonus health, and for every 40 health, he gets 1 ability power. Uh, as this because of this passive, you sometimes see Vladimir's like stack HP, but the HP bonus just isn't as good as compared to the AP to HP bonus. So as you can see, level 1, I got 31 extra HP without having any health items. I just have 22 ability power for my runes and masteries. For Q, now his Q has no cost, and what it does is, like right there, you click on something and it heals you back a flat amount, which is 21 in this case. It always heals you back 21 unless you're ignited or something like that. Anyway, see, another plus 21 because I used a heal, and I baited the Rise to come in close to me, and I get him with
First
the auto
blood.
attack. He's a Lee Sin gank. Um, so for his W, I just leveled it up right here. This one costs 20% of your current health, so it's not advisable to use it when you have a lot of HP because you hurt yourself a lot when you do that. Um, what it does is you turn into a pool of blood and you're untargetable. You cannot get hit by anything and you cannot be focused. Um, and it also deals damage, and it slows for 40%, which is a lot at early levels. And also, what's so good about this is since you're untargetable, certain spells just can't hurt you. Like if there's a Karthus about to ult, you can actually pull. If you time it correctly, the damage from Karthus' ulti will not do any damage. His E, I explained it before, it does AoE damage. You'll see it when I level it up. It does AoE damage and increases health healing and regeneration. Um, and it costs a flat amount of health, as before it used to cost percentage health. His ulti what it does is you place down an AoE, it's an AoE spell, you place it down on the ground, and anyone who gets hit by the spell will take amplified damage from any source of damage, whether it's yourself or a teammate. They take 14% increased damage, amplified damage, which is a lot, and after 5 seconds, it's the debuff on them will detonate and it'll deal extra magic damage. Back then, before Vladimir got nerfed consecutively over and over again, his ultimate actually used to do a 30% damage amplification and 500 magic damage after 5 seconds. But they nerfed it because people said it was too strong. Anyway, here I leveled up my E. You'll see me cast it whenever Rise gets close enough to me or whenever he pushes to my tower. It's pretty good because it's an AoE spell, and it does and now that it only costs a flat amount, you can actually spam it. You can keep up to 4 stacks permanently in lane. Back then, with the old Vlad, if you wanted to keep up the 4 stacks, it actually hurts you a lot. Because if you look at the bottom, it says Tides of Blood cost, the cost and the damage increases by 25%. So before, when it used to be a percentage base, it actually increases a lot. There you go, I cast my E, it does an AoE damage, and it only costs 30 health. Back then it used to cost, I would probably have died if I cast it like that. So anyway, now moving on to explaining how you lane as Vladimir. Pretty much standard, you just try to last hit as best you can, although Vladimir is quite difficult to last hit with because his attack damage is really low, and his attack speed is really bad too. Now, your main source of damage actually comes from your Q, because since it has quite a low cooldown now that they changed the cooldown, and that it heals you, it's what you want to be spamming in lane. If you can get a free Q hit off on the enemy, you just go for it. That's why you start off with the boots, so you can like get off extra Qs on the enemy champion. If you can't and you're like low health, try to last hit a minion with it, because regardless of how much damage you do, you will heal the flat amount. So regardless if your Q does 1 damage, you're still going to be healing for the 35 plus 19, which is pretty good. Now, however, you don't, since Q does quite a bit of damage. Right now it's doing 205 damage. Try not to push the lane with it. Try to use your Q at the last second possible. That way it doesn't push the lane and it counts as the last hit. Also, try not to spam your E, because your E will also be constantly pushing the wave. Only cast E when you're pushed up the tower and you need to last hit with it, or if you can get a free hit off on the enemy champion. Because it does a lot of damage, 94 at level 1, and I'll be maxing this second. It does a lot. And it also, the damage increases by 25 every stack. So, it has technically 100% increase if you have 4 stacks. So the skill order I level up is, you want to get your Q maxed out as fast as possible, because the higher level it is, the lower the cooldown it is. And the lower the cooldown, the more you can heal and the more you can spam in lane. Second skill you want to level up is your E, because that's your second form of damage. And it does, as I said before, a considerable amount of damage if you level it up second. And then followed up by Sanguine Pool. You don't want to use your Sanguine Pool for the damage, because it doesn't do that much damage. Like, even though it looks like a lot, deals 80 plus 16, it's not per second, it's over the whole duration. So you're technically doing like about like 20 damage for the 2 seconds. So it's not that much, and it's not wise to use it. It's for the damage, you mostly use it for an escape mechanism or to slow when you're ganking. So when I was laning, the Rise disconnected, so that's pretty unfortunate for the enemy team, and that's gonna give me a pretty much a free farm lane right up here. As you can see, I have 48 CS compared to Rise 17, because I was zoning him in the beginning of the game. Vladimir's zoning capability is very high because his spells don't cost that much He has no mana, first of all, and his spells don't cost that much HP anymore. So you can actually outlane most other people just because of your constant healing and your constant harassing. Anyway, the Rise disconnected, but now he's 2 levels lower than me, so he needs to play a bit more passively in order to, catch up in lane. See, as you can see, my E at 4 stacks can actually clear waves really, really fast. And even though there's no enemies or no enemy units nearby, I still cast E just to keep up that 4 stacks because why not? It only costs 30 health. And now that I have a Hextech Revolver, on my first trip back I buy a Hextech Revolver. I'm healing for about 100. 39 plus 25, that's a lot. And then my E also heals me too. So it's Hextech Revolver is most of the time what Vladimirs get. See, I can trade hits with Rise now, not just because he's lower level than me, but also because I can just heal back all the damage he deals to me. Just because of my Q. And I drop my ultimate. He flashes after me, and I use my heal. If you notice how much I healed from about 300 HP to 800, and that's what actually caused the kill against Rise, because he did not expect me to heal almost 400 HP. 340 and then 32% of that. It's a lot. And now I'm almost near full again, just from staying in lane. What's also neat is that health potions actually get affected by your Tides of Blood as well. You can actually heal more than what the health potion actually normally heals if you have 4 stacks of Tides of Blood, because it affects healing rate. So I have a lot of gold, but I'm going to keep on pushing and get the tower and then probably port back now. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So now, what you want to do is get a Will of the Ancients, but you don't need to rush a Will of the Ancients. What you want to rush is the Hextech Revolver, and once you get that, your lane is pretty much set. But if you want extra spell vamp and it want to be helpful for your team, get a Will of the Ancients. But if there's not going to be any team fights, then don't get Will of the Ancients, because Will of the Ancients is better when you're in team fights because your whole team benefits from it. But anyway, here I am. I'm going to get Will of the Ancients just because I want that extra spell vamp. And I get Sorc Shoes. Vladimir's can either get a Sorc Shoes or Boots of Lucidity. The cooldown boots. I don't prefer the Boots of Lucidity because I don't do as much damage, because I don't have that extra magic penetration. Right now I have 29 and 10%. And cooldown reductions from the masteries, but I don't feel that Vladimir needs cooldown reduction as much as he used to, just because his spells don't cost as much anymore. Anyway, here I am. See, I'm not going to be afraid of the Rise anymore, because if I use a Q, look how much I heal. That's about 130 right there. That's a lot. And my E also heals me. Boom. Look at that. All that healing. And now I can just trade with him. See, he's also 2 levels lower than me, so he cannot engage me at all. Anyway, here I am. I pull. I tried to dodge the Q, but I was too slow. And there's a Fire Dragon, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I just want to show you the laning of Vladimir. What you want to do once you get your Hextech Revolver is just try to trade as much hits as possible with the enemy champion in the lane, because you can outbully most people. Rise has mana, you don't. Rise has no form of sustain, you do.